Look, all I'm saying is Joey's mom really into kaiju. Does she hunt kaiju? I don't know. The facts are out there, though. Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and talk about movies, TV shows, and streaming services. This show is streamed live around 11:20 every Friday on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Is that right? That sounds right.
That's
all right. But if you don't have time to watch it live, no problem. It is also on YouTube and Rooster Teeth. So go check it out there. If you don't want to look at our ugly mugs, you can go to soundcloud.com/kindoffunnyscreencast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just look it up.
Or any other audio service that you want. Yeah.
Checks out.
If you want to help support us because you love us that much, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and give in any amount. If you go to the bronze level tier, you can chime in and answer my fun little questions I throw out there at you.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Fun little questions.
Too much fun. My name is Kevin Coelho, and to my immediate right, far left, I don't know, is Joey, one of the movie bros herself, Noelle. What's up, Joey?
You. It's good. We've had a good week as movie bros.
Hey, that was
you
right.
wearing a Brady Bunch inspired Animal Crossing shirt?
I am.
Oh, all right, dude.
I got a lot. I went
feeling the
on
party
a
today.
shopping spree, and I got some things,
Yeah?
some Harry Potter things, some Animal Crossing things. I just really want Animal Crossing. That's a different show.
Did you watch anything good this week aside from movies?
I started watching Chernobyl.
Oh, interesting.
I like it. It's real heavy. Started watching it way too late one night, and I was like, oh, this is not a good thing to watch before bed. It's really intense.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's not. I don't feel like I can binge it because I'm like, I need like a
Yeah.
mental
Take
break
time on this one.
in between. I watched that. I watched movies with you last night.
Sure. We'll
and
talk
Tim.
about that shortly.
Ooh, yeah, and then I watched The Bachelor.
Yeah, you
now
did.
that
That's
Tim's
what I was
back,
waiting for.
No.
we're just gonna take over
I
and
don't
make
like
this
it.
an all
Joey's
Bachelor
back.
show.
She's back.
All right.
Jump-
I
Jumping on to
tried
The
to
Bachelorette.
watch. I know it's so good. I tried to watch Always Be My Maybe, but I thought it was gonna be out the one with Randall Park and
the
what's her name?
comedian. She's
Baby-
really funny.
Ali Wong.
Thank
Ali
you.
Wong.
Baby
Oh,
Bella.
Ali Wong's funny.
I thought it came out on Wednesday. That was not true. It came out today. Tried to watch it last night when I got home.
It came out
And,
to select theaters on Wednesday. which
Oh,
I thought was
is
interesting.
that what it was?
Yeah.
So it could be nominated for
An
all the
Oscar?
awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always be my maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm down to check it out too. And to your right, my left, Tim Tam Geddes. How you doing?
Tamaroo, I'm doing fantastic. I watched 2 episodes of The Bachelorette this week because me and G weren't together because I was in Florida. That was fantastic, and having Joey to talk about it makes my life much better. I also watched Raising Kratos, and I thought it was really, really good. A little long, but that was nice for my long flight that I had, so it was okay. Very cool story. I love all the realness they show. I didn't expect them to... You watched it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes of Corey kind of losing his shit.
Yeah.
And they don't edit it. They don't edit around it. I loved the allowance of fucks being dropped in reaction videos and all that, and I thought that was really cool.
Were you upset at all that we weren't in it a little bit?
I was surprised we weren't, but especially given the context of seeing all the other clips that were. Having said that, I really think that it was a very real look at what God of War is to gamers. From every perspective. So I thought that was really fun, really cool. It's not so much TV, but it's streaming services. Yeah. I recently found a YouTuber that I love named Nakey Jakey. And he's the guy that did the Napster and illegally downloading music video.
Yes, he's really good.
He's really, really good. I highly recommend checking him out. Nakey Jakey. Focus on video game content, but a lot of it also is just kind of nostalgia stuff. Like he did one about Disney Channel original movies. And it's just it's video essays, but like it's very Andy feeling. It's like if Andy had more time to just do whatever the fuck he wanted, it would be like this.
Yeah.
Cool. Really interesting.
And then we watched other movies too. Which before we went live, you were talking about how it's a bummer that movies come out on Thursday nights essentially, and we do the show Friday because it'd be nice if they came out Wednesday
and then
so we'd have a bit more time to watch. Because you guys watched 2 movies last night.
That's right.
I had to tap out. I was like, I can't do that.
I understand. Yeah. A couple things I watched this week. I watched Behind the Curve. Have you guys heard of this? The
I
Flat Earth.
watched it. It's super
It's
interesting.
really interesting. They like,
Explain what it is for people that haven't watched it.
It's about like Flat Earth Society, like just that world, and like a couple very popular YouTubers that like that's their brand. And
There's like a convention that they go to.
What do they call
and
it?
there's all this
FlatCon?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Something like that.
Boo.
But it's just very fascinating, and it's interesting. Like, there's drama in the Flat Earth community.
What's the drama?
There's like the guy that originally like brought everything into light. Like, seems like he's off his rocker, and he keeps like. So it follows these two YouTubers, and one of them is like super famous, and he's kind of the guy that like blew everything up.
His name's Mark.
Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Sargent.
Mark Sargent.
Mark Sargent. Okay, because his name was everywhere. He wears a shirt that just says, "I'm Mark Sargent."
Yeah.
Which
And it has like meet and greets,
Yeah.
and like people are really. It's really interesting to see the way that like communities are similar within all.
You're
of these
telling me crazy
different-
cults can rise up for people on the internet? I would never believe it.
but it's so interesting to see like the dynamics of everything, and how like there's like a group that is trying to prove stuff with science, and we keep seeing their stuff like
far it
not
goes.
work correctly.
Yeah. They're
And
like, we got this
yeah.
really expensive laser to do these things to disprove the curve over distance and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like I
Where
don't-
is this?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really. It's. I was like enthralled the entire
it was
time.
it was shockingly good. I also watched another documentary called Perfect Bid, which is about
The Price is Right.
yeah.
I also watched that this week and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I saw that as well.
Disembodied
as
head.
well.
Yeah.
Greg Miller.
I
Saw
thought it
as
was
well.
going to have a bigger twist. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to go
Yeah.
really bad. And then it just turns out Drew Carey's new regime's a bunch of assholes.
I also thought that he was the guy that won it. Like they got the perfect bid, and like, but he wasn't.
Yeah, that was
no,
like a weird thing.
He
They,
gave the
they
information.
they just tack on at the end that he helped this guy get the perfect bid. And then that guy like totally is like, I don't know who that guy is. You're like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah, he didn't help me. It's my wife. And it's like, all right, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Very interesting though. It was a good documentary. It was short, but still felt a little long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so I
not
think
good.
they
It
could have done
A lot of.
I want to say it was like an hour, but it could have been 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also started watching The Expanse. It's an Amazon Prime show that like everyone raves about, saying that it's really, really good. And like a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's the next Game of Thrones," and then it got canceled, so it's only 3 seasons. But
So it's the Ned Stark.
it's been interesting so far. I've only watched like 2 episodes, but it's this really, really dense world where like as they're going through stuff, it's like, wow, there is a lot here, and it's grabbed my attention. I'm excited to keep watching. And
Speaking of Game of Thrones, another thing that I found.
the documentary?
I did not see that yet. I'm pretty behind on some things right now. But when I was searching for Raising Kratos to download, because I have YouTube Premium for the flights,
Fancy.
random recommended videos were popping up, and like a lot of them were Game of Thrones stuff. And apparently, this is some real Kevin nerd shit. Every season they released a like lore bit that like, goes into the characters and their motivations.
yeah, they're
and-
like VO over like drawings.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like beautifully animated, like really crazy hand drawn stuff of Game of Thrones, like stuff that's shown in the show, but like maybe some of it's glossed over.
There's a little bit of extra stuff added usually. In
But
the
the
stories.
craziest thing is it's VO from all of the cast as their characters. And I'm like, holy shit, I listened to a couple of them. Like, this is really cool, fascinating stuff. So I recommend looking up that.
Interesting.
I watched the Society, that show where like it looks
Lord
like
of the
all
Flies.
all the adults and
Oh, it's out?
everyone. Yeah, it's out. It came out last week. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't recommend it. It was one of those things where I kept being like, the premise is so good that I want to see where the story goes, and it just was weirdly boring. Yeah, but I sat through the 10 hours of it, and it like, not spoilers, but like, you don't get much. You like, I wanted an answer of what was going on, and you get hints at it, not an actual answer. And the last thing I watched is season 2 of White Gold.
I don't know anything about that.
White Gold, another Netflix show. The Society
I
also on
see
Netflix.
blue. I don't know.
White Gold was it's funny. White Gold is like about salesmen in the UK in like the mid 80s selling the like plastic.
What is your
like,
life, Kevin?
But it's actually like a really fucked up dark comedy. And they sell like the window, like the plastic that goes around the windows, and there's like a huge markup, and they're all really bad people, and it's an interesting show. Season 2 is all right. If season 3 comes out ever, I don't know that I'll watch it either.
You've seen all you've seen.
Yeah, I feel like I had enough. I'll probably watch it because Paula still likes it. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
I forgot that I watched something else over the weekend. I
What'd you
watched The
watch?
Perfection on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
with Allison Williams. Did you also watch this?
I did, because I was like, you mentioned it, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is it about? And is it a horror movie? And you're like, you should know nothing about it.
Yeah.
So there was I don't know how much you want to spoil, but there was a moment of like, oh, it's going to be like a zombie movie. All right, I see where it's going. Jen and I watched it last night, and I was like, oh, no, it is not that.
Yeah.
Is
at
it
all.
good?
It's worth putting on, like, if you're like eating dinner or just hanging out. I don't think it's worth like specifically seeking out.
We did it last night. It was one of those, let's do something while we eat. Oh, well, this thing's on. And then but then when we were done with the meal, I was like, man, I'd rather be playing video games right now. And then just like,
Did you stop or you finished
No,
it?
wrote it
Oh,
out. I mean,
okay.
at that point, we're invested.
Yeah,
Let's see
yeah.
how it's
It's
gonna
not
end or
that
whatever.
long either.
No, it's not that long. No.
Is it as fucked up as the trailer made it seem?
Yeah, it's
I would
fucked
say
up.
more.
I didn't watch the trailer because I didn't want to know anything about it.
Yeah.
You get some
Alright,
good
I'm
booties
in.
in it. A lot of good booties.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. It goes down a
Alright.
lot. It's one of those ones where it goes down different directions that I was definitely not expecting.
It looks like that kind of movie.
Yeah. If you are at all interested in it, I would not watch the trailer if you haven't already, because
Oh, damn,
gives
really?
away. It tells a part of it.
Right.
There's enough after that they don't include that I think you'd still be surprised.
Okay,
But
I'm interested to check that out.
yeah.
Now for some housekeeping. No Patreon producers still. Why don't you love us?
Well, there could be people from.
Please, God, support us. No. I know that they could have already signed up, and they won't see the name for like.
We don't
next,
read it till the month after.
But I like saying that.
We'll
And
have
then
new ones for next week.
also, this show is brought to you by our sponsors, Tops and Quip, but more about that later. Now, I want to get started with the big topic.
How big? How big is it?
Oh man,
Say the first part of it.
Oh my gosh.
That was
So-
in the trailer
that really, yeah,
and the movie.
in the movie.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
So we're gonna do a spoilers-free review of Godzilla and a couple other movies that we watched this week. I want to start really quick with Greg Miller while we have him here
Okay.
with Brightburn.
I was gonna say I got sold a raw deal here. He was like, it's gonna be the intro, and then it'll be Brightburn. Now you're gonna fucking go into Godzilla.
All right, can you start talking about Brightburn and
Hey,
how
everybody,
much you love it?
it's me, Greg Miller, and I went and saw Brightburn, and I had a great time. I thought it was a really, really well done Superman Elseworld story. Background on it, of course, the trailers had dropped, or the main trailer had dropped. I had seen it. I was like, oh yeah, of course, James Gunn's involved. I love him. I love the parents who are playing Elizabeth Banks, and then the guy from Roy from The Office. And then I was like, it's just cool. It's Superman. And obviously, I got to see this or whatever. And then I talked to Tim about it. I think where he's like, the second trailer was not good or something to that effect.
Well, it wasn't that it wasn't good. It showed everything, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't
See,
need to see
I
it.
had missed that. So,
No.
like, I had not seen that. And so it was Jen and I, we did a double feature. We went and saw Aladdin, then went to dinner, and then we're going to Brightburn. And when we got to dinner, I was talking to her about it. I'm like, I don't even know. Is anyone talking about this movie? It's like we were seeing it Monday, right? And it had been out since Friday or whatever, Wednesday. And it was, I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie. I haven't seen any reviews about this movie. I've heard nothing. And she was like, yeah, some people responded to your tweet and they weren't like super into it, or they thought it was, and I was like, oh, do you want to deviate? We can go see Booksmart or something. Indeed. We're going to see that this weekend, everybody. Don't worry.
Good.
And it was like, no, let's see. She's like, you have to see it. It's a Superman movie. I get it. I'm like, all right, cool. And so we went in there with 2 martinis in us, and I thought it was awesome. I had such a great time. And it's not a drunk thing. I think it was just like, wow, they did what I would want. I would love to see DC do this kind of shit of like, cool, here's this great, the stuff, so let's have fun with it and tweak it and turn it and do all these different things. I
Yep.
didn't expect the gore. That caught me off guard. What?
When the day after you watched it, when you were talking to me,
Yeah.
like you were selling me on it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I might be interested in watching it, even though you totally spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
That made me kind
I
of want to
asked.
watch it more. Oh yeah. No. We had that conversation, but it kind of made me want to watch it more. And like seeing you that stoked about a movie, I was like, oh shit, Greg Miller cares.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
tight.
I mean, it was everything I want out of something like that. If you're going to say you're going to do that, I want to see you lean all the way in. And I thought they leaned all the way in interesting ways where it was, it really speaks to me what I always talk about of like, why I love Superman, right? Of like, well, if anything had gone differently for him, right, he could be a complete asshole, and that's what this kid is. And even the way like his parents are good people, but like they're not the Kents, right?
Yeah.
They're not Jonathan and Martha, so they're not raising him that way. And it's interesting to see. You both saw that,
Yeah,
right?
we've both seen it.
To see like the little things that were a little like too on the nose of like teachable moments where
Yeah.
you say something and the kid's like, oh, okay, and takes the totally wrong lesson with it.
Yeah.
Right? But that was still fun and different for a one-off movie, I'm totally in for it.
I liked it, and I said this last week, but I'm saying this for you and
Thank you.
Tim. I liked it, but I wish that like the story was a little bit. I don't know. I wish they had worked a little harder on it. Where I felt like some of the character decisions, I was like, this doesn't seem like it was set up correctly. Yeah, specifically with like the dad, and it's just like I wish the relationship had initially looked less of a father-son relationship, more of like, like he didn't care as much.
See, I hear you, but I think that's just a rubber meets the road kind of thing, right? Where like it's easy to say you love somebody unconditionally, and then when you get to that moment where you're like, no, you're a fucking alien. Like, what do I do with that information? Like, I think that's the thing of whether you either embrace them or push them away. Yeah.
But I think I said it was a good like A-list movie. So like if you've got the pass, go and use it.
Yes, kids hit me up and they were like, "Oh my god, does this mean I have to rush to the theater and see it?" I was like, "No, you can totally wait." Like I would have preferred to have seen it at my house, but like I think it was. I loved it. I thought it was great. You know what I mean? And if they do anything with it in the future, great. The fact that it ends the way it does end, and like, oh, that's a really cool, like, I see what you're doing thing that I like a lot. I thought it was really cool to see the reds and blues. I thought it was really cool to see how they played around with like, rather than it be like Lana Lang, it'd be him with the BB. You know what I mean? Like they had a bunch of little things like that, and but I like that they played off those relationships that the archetypes of what you'd expect from Superman and stuff like that. Real cool. Really, and like I said, really brutal. Did not know I was getting
Came
into that.
out of nowhere. That's
way more of a horror movie than I think anybody expected.
It's more of a horror movie than I was expecting it to be for sure. But highly recommended from Greg Miller.
At dinner last night, you guys were talking about it, and something that I thought was interesting was you guys were talking about how the pacing of the movie, like it all just moves way too fast, and you didn't like that. But then you said something really interesting where you're like, the pacing's so consistent though that you expected it the entire time, so that you didn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think if you would have like slowed down and focused on story beats, it would have felt weird because it's very much like trains out of the station and they're going, and I thought that it all made sense. I really liked the way that they set it up. I kind of liked that the relationships were different where you're like, oh, I would have had it. I liked that the way that they did it because it was like, oh, this is like a real, it's not the like Hollywood, like everything's like a happy family necessarily. You show like kind of more realistic dynamics between people and like, I would assume parenting, like you always love your child, but you don't necessarily always like your child.
I know it well from Portelli.
And stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad that you liked it. I'm excited. I hope other people get to see it. Chat, go see it.
I'm not going to see it in theaters, but it definitely is a Netflix, like, oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But just be prepared because it is significantly gory.
Yeah.
Brutal.
All right, thanks, Greg.
Thank you guys.
Okay, now can we give me it again, Greg or Kevin?
No. We're going to do one more movie. We're going to do one more movie. Rocketman.
Oh,
we watched Rocketman last night.
We watched Rocketman. I don't really feel like you can spoil this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean...
if you're not familiar a lot with Elton John's story, like myself.
But it's not even, like, I don't know. These movies are so, like... I liked it a lot, but I think that these movies are so common. Like, hey, here's a musician whose life is, sad.
Is it common, or is it just because we've had Bohemian Rhapsody so recently?
I don't know. There's a couple other movies that like come to mind, like
Walk the Line and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I guess that was like
but
a long
even
time ago.
what's the other one? The one they had
Get
last
him to
year.
the Greek.
No, Lady Gaga.
Oh,
Stars Born.
yeah, but that's not like
You don't know about that one, Joey?
I hate you. But that's not like that's a
that's
fictionalized.
right. You didn't watch Stars Born. I forgot.
That's not a real.
No, yeah,
performer.
that's true.
But anyways, Rocketman, I really loved. I love Elton John. I got to see him in concert earlier this year. This movie to me felt the most Broadway jukebox musical.
What does that mean?
So jukebox musical on Broadway is like Jersey Boys and like stuff like that.
Just saying words he doesn't know.
Jersey.
No, I know Jersey Boys.
Oh, you know Jersey Boys?
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's like musicals that are pretty much just like hit after hit after hit of established musicians. It's not like original IP kind of stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I like that.
So I'm trying to think. Like the Temptations have one out right now. Cher has one. It's like it's a hit machine factory essentially. It is definitely not a biopic, so I would not go in. If you're thinking it's going to be like Bohemian Rhapsody, it's very different. I feel like the story pieces in this movie are just to get you to the next song and performance.
Is there a lot of the fantastical stuff that we see in the trailer?
There's a good amount.
There's some, yeah, not a lot, but there's. I'd say there's the right amount for me.
During a few of those, I got a lot of like very Baz Luhrmann-y vibes from it, which I really like. But it's not a full it's probably like 30% of that. So it's not like a total fantastical Moulin Rouge kind of thing.
Question.
Yes.
Will Alyssa like this movie?
I think
Knowing Alyssa and like knowing your guys'
So
kind of love for
specific.
these
I love
type of movies.
honestly, I think that I don't think this movie is like if you love musicals, you'll love it. I think it's if you like Elton John, you'll like it.
Okay.
If you have like very little touchstone to Elton John, I think it's going to be a hard movie to watch.
But if you like Elton John music,
yeah,
or
exactly.
the Beatles.
Do they reference
damn it,
him
Kevin.
playing piano with Eminem at all?
No, they do not.
No.
No,
No, because
spoilers,
this
no
is
reference.
like it's. I don't think it goes like to like now or like
I'm
anywhere
joking.
near. Yeah,
Totally
okay.
joking.
Okay. Did he play piano with us?
Live once at the VMAs.
Be cool. But I feel like it
stand.
stops in like
Oh,
the mid '80s. This movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat. Forgotten Hell says, this is the opposite of everything I've heard about Rocketman. I've heard Rocketman is way more of a biopic than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, no.
I feel like this movie is like 60% musical numbers and maybe 40%. No, I don't even think that's right. It's probably 75-25.
Yeah, that honestly sounds right. Like the musical numbers are like the big pieces, and the other stuff are setting up so those musical numbers are like
It's
hit harder.
transitioning
Yeah.
to get to those things. Yeah.
If
So I'll
you
be
like
interested to see what
musicals, I
other
think this is
people-
pretty good.
Yeah. Taron Egerton thought was great.
Phenomenal.
I was very shocked. I don't really have like a
Although
huge
my
background
only
from him.
issue with him was, I felt like the old makeup
Yeah, not
was not good. He just looked like they had just done a little bit on the eyes. Like I feel like they should have done a little bit more.
yeah.
Oh,
Was
But-
it like that awkward thing in the Harry Potter, like kind of when they're older and shit? And they
Yeah.
look like
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it really was. Yeah. Great call.
Gotcha.
All right, now it's
Give it to
time
me.
to talk about God. There it is. There
Yo,
it is.
how is this movie this good?
Right?
Now, to be clear, not great, not 9 out of 10 or whatever. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I feel like it really delivered on the promise of what we liked about the trailers while also kind of getting rid of some of the things I didn't. There was not nearly as much military focus as I thought there was going to be. And I usually don't like that. And that's kind of what ruined Godzilla 2014 for me.
Yeah.
This was like they kind of had an amazing cast of human characters.
Really good.
That were used well.
I have I feel like I wanted more of Ice Cube's son.
Absolutely.
That's the one
Show me more
under
Ice Cube's son
in everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Sorry that I keep referring to you only as Ice Cube's son because
don't
I
know
don't
your name,
remember
you
your
know?
name.
O'Shea.
O'Shea
Jackson.
Jackson. There we go.
But we saw it in IMAX, and I mean that's the way to watch this movie.
It really is.
The scale is fantastic, and like I was saying, the colors of the trailers really come through here. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you guys were talking to me about John Wick and how much of a Metal Gear movie it is. 90% of this movie, a lot of it takes place in maybe it was Andy that was saying that.
Metal Gear Salvation, maybe.
What?
No, what's the not Salvation? The
The new one?
no, the
Survive.
Rising.
But he's talking about the world of it.
Got
and,
it,
like,
got
how
it,
the
got it.
characters
Yes,
and like
yes,
how
yeah,
bonkers
okay.
it all is.
I was like, 'cause that's an
taking
action-packed movie.
combining it with what we're seeing here. So much of this takes place in Alaska or in Antarctica or whatever. I don't know, whatever the fuck. It's a snowy place, and they're sneaking through shit and like the colors and the way it looks. I'm like, oh my god, a Metal Gear movie could work because this is working for me.
Yeah.
But I loved the focus on the monsters. I thought that we got a lot of more screen time of them.
Which was interesting that I feel like I saw a lot of criticisms like there weren't enough monsters. I felt like there
What?
were way
Yeah.
more than I was expecting. I kind of went in it thinking like, it's going to be a lot of build up to one big fight at the end.
Yeah.
But I feel like they did a really good job of
I
putting
wonder
more
if the
things in.
criticism comes from the fact that like we didn't spend like a lot of time on other monsters.
Oh, there's like specific focal points.
Yeah, because there's 4 monsters that
handful.
we see, a fair amount of, but
Yeah.
like more than that, the other ones we just get glimpses at. And I would kind of like a little bit more. Every time like we would see a new monster, I wish there was like an info sheet that would come up and just say the name and I know that wouldn't fit the tone of the movie.
Like a Smash Brothers card.
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like
Mothra joins the battle.
You need pop-up video, but for this movie, so
Yeah.
you just get the little tidbits of
It was
information.
it was really cool when we were going in. Gia was not hyped. Like she was like, "This might be the least."
she warned you. She was like, I'm probably gonna fall asleep. Don't wake me up.
She's like, "Don't wake me up." She's like, "This is the least I've wanted to see a movie that you guys are taking me to ever." And then when she left, she was like, I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
She was like, I didn't fall asleep, and like it kept me entertained. And I think that it moves at a good pace. I feel like maybe 2/3 through the movie, they lost me, and I only mean that in that I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then at some point I was like, all right, now we're just like getting to just kind of throwing toys together. But without spoiling anything, I thought that the end of this movie, the last 5 minutes of this movie, were pitch perfect. Like I left the theater being like, I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool. And I also cannot believe that the sequel is next year.
Which is
March
crazy.
2020, we're getting Godzilla vs. Kong.
Which is wild, but like I'm interested
Yep.
because I didn't like Kong
Yeah.
Skull Island very much.
I need to go back and I don't know that I've ever seen all of it. I think I fell asleep halfway through. The thing that's classic Joey. The thing that's interesting too is like I was kind of confused when you told me that this morning because like that's not where the movie really led. Like I wasn't like they talked when they talk about all the different monsters, they talk about King Kong, but like that's not doesn't seem like a direct sequel that they were like leading to.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like that Charles Dance, aka Tywin Lannister, did an interview and he was talking about how the next movie he's in is not Godzilla Kong. It's going to be whatever happens after that. So it's cool that they're kind of building this
stuff up,
as
yeah.
not just a cinematic universe, but it also kind of feels more like episodic.
Yeah,
just
it's not
different things
linear.
are happening. And yeah, it's like I people that know me and my opinions on stuff, I love kind of interconnected, woven universes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the in review show about that basically.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, but things like that, like Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious,
It's
MCU.
cool that like it seems like they're doing these things in a good way.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like for a while like we haven't had the interconnected worlds were like weak.
And I would argue that this is weak too, but they understand it doesn't need to be strong. The links to the other movies in this are pretty just on the nose surface level, but that's all they need to be because these are just giant monsters fighting. And some points I wish the choreography was a little better. A lot of shaky cam, a lot of just like
Dark
noise and storm
yeah.
and things where you're like, I can't really see what's going on.
It seems like I remember we were talking about this like 2 weeks ago, and one of the things that you said to me was like you've seen all the shots that are gonna have the kaiju in it, and like that was wrong.
Totally wrong.
Like there was so much more, and it's awesome because like that makes it way better. I do wish a couple of the shots were a little bit more visible and like less
Clearer.
less fogged up. But I think for me, this might be the best kaiju movie I've ever seen. And
I think
like
it's because they commit to it being kaiju. The humans are only there to have dialogue, and
It's
I
not
don't
great
mean-
dialogue. Let's be clear.
It is what it needs to be. Again, the cast is so fun. Like at least all the actors and actresses are fun. I don't necessarily think these are the most fun roles any of them have ever played.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody's going into Godzilla thinking that you're going to get like this super deep plot or these like really rich performances.
Yeah, but what
Everyone
I do
just wants to see
enjoy,
monsters fight.
I feel
But
like
they think
there
that
were
they-
a couple good
yeah.
moments where it's like, this person's a good actor.
But then there were some moments where you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
this is not a good line. But again,
Godzilla.
I immediately was like,
See, and that's
this is
where
not
we
a good line.
disagree
Yeah.
about of like once you see the way that they build that character in the movie, that cheesy Godzilla line from the trailer, to me, made total sense for that
Me too.
character. And then you were like,
my
it
thing
did
is
not sell
that
me.
character throughout the movie, I really enjoyed. He totally was consistent as being just this kind of like comic relief, but like not in a bad way, like just in a way I'm like, all right, I believe you. You're kind of crazy in conspiracy theory, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you are the weird one that would say Zilla. But even when that happened, I remember building up to it. I was like, I think I'm going to enjoy that line a lot more in context. And then it happened. I'm like, I didn't. I still did.
See,
it.
I had the opposite reaction where like it happened. I was like, oh, I liked it. Yeah.
Gia, I don't think had any reference to the trailers and
right.
stuff, and she like literally saw one of. She's like, Jesus Christ.
When it happened, I think I hit Joey. I was like, it was great or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked, honestly, that you liked this because we got split up. We were sitting in two different parts of the theater, and
I
when
had the seat next to the person next to Joey, and before Joey got in, I was like, hey, can we switch? Like, that's my friend. And he was like, oh yeah, sure. So I got to sit next to Joey.
But you missed
Movie
the part
bros.
yesterday. You missed the part yesterday where Kevin was like, why don't you just switch seats so we can sit together? And I was like, no, it's fine. We can sit separately, because Kevin also likes to talk in movies, which is not my favorite, but I do appreciate you didn't really talk at all in the movies yesterday.
Well, you told me it wasn't your favorite, so I'm going to try to stop.
And I appreciate that.
There were a couple key moments where I needed to, like during Rocketman, when it was appropriate to say a joke that I have been building for years now.
Yeah. Months. So, but I was, for some reason, not really expecting you to like it. I don't really know why. I guess I've never really heard you talk about Godzilla.
I was going in being just kind of like I don't think that this has the potential to be good. It's just kind of, I didn't really love 2014's. And for a lot of, I feel, very valid critical reasons.
I enjoyed
the
a lot
focus on the humans and the military aspects. It felt like a bad Transformers movie to me. And that's saying something, because this one reminded me a lot of Transformers 1. Good elements of it.
Yeah, but better.
Definitely better.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there was a lot that I liked in 2014. There was just key points that I felt made the story weak, like having everyone be related and such an emphasis on the military aspect of it, that I felt like this movie nailed in such a better way. Yeah,
I think that in terms of the humans, it was very good of how little they were used. I feel like everybody had their reason. There was way too many of them, but it didn't bother me, because they did this weird thing where I was talking to Nick earlier, and he was just like, I don't know that I need all those humans in the room. And that made me realize, I was like, yeah, but all it is humans in a room. Whether it's a room or them on a jet or them on a plane or them on it's just that group together the whole time. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, they literally just use this as a device to explain what happens in a way that's not.
That sounded really accurate.
Oh my gosh, is Tim gonna start a campaign to be in the next Godzilla movie? Yeah. And even the ones that we like of that group that have actual lines and kind of talk, I liked all of them. The main commander girl is in my favorite guilty pleasure TV show 911, where it's a firehouse thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's her.
I didn't like her.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was about her performance. I felt like there were a couple scenes where she was too over the top, and also the dad character I did not like, just because I don't like that character.
You don't like Kyle Chandler?
No, he's so dramatic all the time. When it starts, before things start going crazy, he's at 10. And it's like, well, no, dude, there's no reason you should be reacting this way to this group of people right now. But whatever.
I liked him. Something that I thought this movie did really well was when I watched the trailers, I kind of thought that the humans were going to be way too split up, way too much focus on them, way too much military stuff. And on top of all of that, I thought that it was going to be too many scenes where I'm like, how are you surviving? There's a scene in the trailer of Millie Bobby Brown standing on the roof, and you see all the shit coming at her. It's it ended up not being as much of a disaster movie as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, there was a lot of disasters happening.
But a lot.
A lot of destruction.
I feel like they didn't at any point show that on a human level. There's the one scene in the middle where you start to see people getting
but also
away
in the
dying.
start. In the start of the movie, in the first 5 minutes when we.
Here's the thing. Whether or not they showed it, I don't think that was the point, and I don't think that they did a good job conveying it, because all of a sudden, I at no moment did I worry about anyone's safety ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Ever?
Did you?
There was a couple scenes towards the end.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I was just they're all fine. They're all going to be fine. Unless a character is sacrificing themselves, they're going to be fine.
But I feel like, I don't really feel like there's high stakes for most of these action-y movies. I feel like it's usually pretty clear in the timeline. You can foresee this person's not going to make it, this person's not going to make it. You kind of identify the people that are going to live. So I felt like this kind of went with that.
I would argue the good ones do have the stakes, and that's the difference there. But what I'm saying is I'm fine with it, because there was a focus on the monsters. But whereas the trailers made me think it was going to be a lot more focused on caring about this character's safety. Yeah. And I'm happy they didn't go that direction.
Got it.
At the end of the day, it was about big monsters fighting. And I feel like so many kaiju movies, specifically American kaiju movies, are for some reason afraid, and the reason might be budget, but afraid to give the people what they want and let them do the thing. Power Rangers is a perfect example. They morphed once in that movie. What the fuck? You know,
Once per episode, man. That's how they do
whereas
it.
this was
Right?
this was totally a from beginning to end. It's the focus is on the monsters. They are characters. We want to make you feel for them.
It's the humans reacting to them instead of the monsters reacting to like the
Yes,
humans.
absolutely.
As much as
So
you can do
would you
that.
guys recommend people go and see this in theaters?
I would on a big scale. I feel like if you have an IMAX, if you have something like that, definitely. I don't think you need to see this movie. But if you have any interest in Godzilla, and at the end of the day, Godzilla's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know
agree.
anyone that's like a hyper fan. Like Damon Hatfield is, but like I don't know anybody that's like my personal friends that are like, oh my god, I fucking love Godzilla, and any monster I know their names and stuff. But like there is something cool of like, oh, I've seen action figures of that thing growing up at that store next to Goodwill. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Heroes Club.
And it was in the pose, like
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
with 3 heads out. Yeah.
So those moments are kind of cool, and like the score was great. Like I feel like they did a really good job of making Godzilla seem like your boy. Like multiple times in this movie, I was like, yeah, you know.
When
The
we
theater
first
was
see,
so fun.
When we first see Godzilla like come out to fight, I was so close to be like, get him, Godzilla. And I was like, nope, that's rude.
Yeah.
That'd be fun for me and
Distracted
maybe
to
Tim.
everyone
Yeah.
else, but no, seriously, like you, there's moments you're like, oh, he's about to fuck him up.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about seeing movies on Thursday night, as much as I hate that it's Thursday nights, is we're in a good theater of like, there were so many pops for like references and stuff like that happen in the movie. And I like being with those, like the people that are really excited to see these. I think it's worth, if you're looking for like a fun monster popcorn movie and you don't really care about Godzilla, I think you'll like it. I think if you like Godzilla movies, this is probably the best of the recent ones.
Yeah,
And I can't.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
You like told your
There
mom
is a
to go and
post-credit
watch it,
scene.
right?
yeah, immediately
Just
after
stay.
I go. So my mom loves kaiju movies, which is so weird because it's not really a my mom thing. But immediately after we got out, I texted her. I was like, you need to go see this.
Yeah.
So they're in town this weekend, so maybe I'll go with her. But also shout out Mothra, and this movie's so fucking cool.
Yep.
So
really,
pretty.
really cool.
So pretty. love it.
Yeah, I'd also recommend to go watch it if you're like, hey, I want to see giant monsters fight. If that's something that intrigues you, you need to check out this movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another quick thing that I want to bring up, a conversation Joey and I had. Does what's
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, is that a kaiju movie?
Yes,
Interesting.
I have.
it's a genre. I mean, I feel like there's a subgenre to it as well. It's also found footage. It's also
Yeah.
But I think I'd put it in my mind, it's found footage above it, because I said, I like tweeted out, this is like the best kaiju movie I've ever seen. And then I very quickly was like, fuck, what about Cloverfield? And like, to me, Cloverfield doesn't count as a kaiju movie.
What I was saying to you, because we were talking about this as well, is like, yeah, I think of it as a found footage movie first, and then a kaiju movie as kind of the backdrop, because like, yes, they're being affected by this monster, but they are not involved in the story at all of what's going on with the monster. So I feel like it takes, like, the found footage stuff takes precedent over it being a kaiju movie.
I mean, there's a kaiju in the movie, so
Yeah. It's also
I,
not
feel
Japanese.
like even
though,
with
either.
that, I think that this Godzilla is better than Cloverfield.
Really?
Interesting.
Oh,
I really like Cloverfield.
I thought
I think I like Cloverfield more, but
I'm on the fence. Like Cloverfield, I think I like the comedy aspects of Cloverfield that they had in there. The story, like the character specifically, the friend that like is just kind of joking around, palling around the whole time. More, but like overall, this is a better monster movie.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Cloverfield was fine. I was really excited for it, and it wasn't as good as I.
yeah,
hoped.
I think if American kaiju is a thing, I think that's what Cloverfield is. But then it's interesting when you think about like 10 Cloverfield Lane, like is in that universe, but also not in that subcategory. People in the chat are talking about Pacific Rim.
I hate Pacific Rim.
I've
so
never
much.
seen it.
I've never seen it fully. I've only seen bits, and I'm like,
Friends of mine like all loved it, and it was one of those things where I was like, hey, it's not for me, definitely, but like they were all super into it.
There's a moment in Pacific Rim where they go to another place, and it's all CGI, and it is some of the worst CGIs for the budget I thought that movie had, where it's like, man, don't do this if this is the level that you're going to be able to put into it.
The woman from Shape of Water was in Godzilla King of Monsters,
And I liked her.
And at one point,
Wasn't she in the other one too?
Gia was like,
Was she?
Well, I don't fucking.
It was
know.
the first time. Well, I didn't know her then because Shape
Oh,
Water
yeah.
hadn't come out.
feel like
But
she might have been
Gia was like,
2014.
"Is this in the same universe?" And I was just like, I don't know, man.
No, it's definitely not. They're like 50
But then I
years
started thinking
apart.
about it. I was
Let's
just
get
like,
weird.
I was like, well, Del Toro didn't do any Godzilla movie, but he did do Pacific Rim. Oh my god.
It's all connected.
People in the chat are saying that they really liked Pacific Rim.
People,
It's one of those movies
yeah.
that people love and people hate.
Yeah.
It's
Enough
very
people in the
divisive.
chat are saying it that I might
Give it a
might
shot.
be a good
Skis.
Sunday
you should
movie.
check it out. I'd love to hear your opinions about it.
Okay.
While you do some laundry or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I am always
Yeah.
doing laundry.
Always doing laundry.
Always doing laundry. This is what happens when you share laundry with people that live in your building, and there are
Yeah,
a lot of
time it
people, and sometimes you just have to wait.
I interpreted that as you share your clothes with other people who live in your building.
No, I don't. I
Yeah,
share the
I-
washing
Do they
machine and
wash
the
it, or
dryer.
do you just wash it?
No, I don't have people doing my laundry. Let's get back to the movies.
All right. Well, actually, let's take a moment to do some ads. Our first ad is Topps. Big news out of trading card industry as two iconic brands, Topps and Marvels, have teamed up to launch Marvel Collect by Topps digital trading card app. The app boasts content from the entire Marvel universe and both classic and cinematic. It is a digital trading card app where you can collect and trade Marvel Universe digital trading cards, trade in certain cards for rarer ones. Developed by Topps Digital, this app has what they've coined collector-based missions. These provide guidance and rewards for what users should be doing on a daily, weekly, and a longer-term basis, all to earn currency in the app, which you can then use to open digital packs of cards. The coolest thing about this is how expansive the content is from Avengers to Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men, Jessica Jones, and the list goes on. Also, in an age of we want it now, this digital aspect of collecting is so cool because of the timely content. As soon as Captain Marvel's out, bam, you got cards. As soon as Avengers trailer comes out, you got Avenger trailer cards. Spider-Man Far From Home is around the corner, and you know they're going to have some cards for that. They even have a program in the app that is called First Printing, where they mimic how comic book editions are printed based on demand. Just a very cool take on a classic hobby. What else stands out is the free-to-play ability of the app compared to just the straight-up paywall. Daily logins, bonuses, and introductions of missions really helps the free-to-play generate enough buying power to go after certain cards. Download Marvel Collect by Topps digital trading card app and start collecting and trading your favorite characters from across the Marvel universe, both classic and cinematic, with fans around the world. The app is free to play, and new cards are released every day. Download now in the App Store or Google Play Store. Our second ad is from Quip. Looking for something to give your dad or celebrate with your new grad? Get them a one-size-fits-all gift, like a new oral health routine with Quip. The guiding feature makes sticking to good habits simple, and signing them up for a subscription helps them save and refreshes their brushes on time. With the Quip electric toothbrush, you can show your thanks where it really counts. The multi-use cover works as a stand, mounts to mirrors, and slides over your bristles to pack and protect your Quip on the go. Brush heads are automatically delivered on a 3-month dentist recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. A friendly reminder when it's time to for a refresh and to stay committed to your oral health. Nick and Gia have been using theirs and love how easy and reliable it is. It is great to not have to ever think about going to buy a new toothbrush or toothpaste when it's too late.
It's true. I use it. I love Quip. I used it this morning. I'm going to use it tonight. I'm going to use it tomorrow morning, and so on and so on. I love it so much. When I go to E3, I'm going to use the fun little holder that it has that functions as a stand and a case that I get to travel with, and I love it very much.
Mm-hmm. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com KFMS right now, you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/KFMS. Now it's time for the news.
News.
Oh, look at that.
I'm happy that I had this idea so late, but I was going to pull up the Pokemon press conference music to play underneath your ad.
God, that music is so good. That is up
so
there with
mean.
like the
That would have sucked.
Skype music. That's just like a
Oh,
jam.
yeah. Damn, you're right.
The Tops ad,
Yeah.
I had to rewrite so much of that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it someone did not have a good time writing that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you're just supposed to do that. It's okay to rewrite it.
Usually you do that for us.
I mean,
It makes it easier to
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
but I know, but
easier.
you should write it in your voice so that when you read it, you sound like you.
I don't know how to sound like me, Tim. Let's talk about
You're
some
trying,
news.
you're trying.
First story. Yeah, I mean that's what I sound like, I'm just stumbling through everything. Glow season 3 heads to Sin City, arrives on Netflix August 9th, 2019 with 10 new or 10 episodes, 10 30-minute episodes.
Maybe this is the time that I actually commit to going through and watching Glow. I feel like now, since I have a way better frame of reference for the wrestling. I know it's not.
Joey?
It's not. Is it wrestling?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was roller derby.
Wait, so you've never seen any of it?
No.
You are.
Bro.
Oh.
Bro.
Because for so
You
long
gotta
I
watch
didn't
A
care
Star Is
about
Born and
wrestling.
Glow.
No, I will watch Glow. I will not watch A Star Is Born.
Dude, no, Joey, you're going to love this.
Okay.
Especially, so having the seasons back to back to binge, I think is going to make season 2 a lot better.
Okay.
Like, I feel like
Yeah,
having the
yeah.
space between season 1 and 2 was like a little bit of a dip. I think 2 is arguably better than 1. It's just, I feel like that
I feel
spacing.
like 1's real good though.
It is though,
Yeah.
and I think going into 3, especially with cliffhanger 2 ended on, or not cliffhanger, but like
No.
the direction that
They're
they're
going to
Yeah.
Vegas.
They're going to Vegas,
Yeah.
and it's going
Love
to be
Vegas.
awesome.
Do I
You're gonna
start
love
it
this.
now, or do I wait till it's closer to August
See, that
9th?
might be a
I'd say-
little too much
Too
glow.
much glow all at one
Although,
time?
No, I say wait till it's closer, but not like a month away.
Like start it after
Yeah,
4th
because then
of
you can
July.
take your time and not try to watch
In
10
one
hours
week,
in
yeah.
1 week. Yeah,
I'm
These are-
excited.
they're not hour-long episodes.
there's 30
though.
minutes
The
long.
30.
Yeah, the 10-minute.
Yeah, so that's 10 episodes per season. That's 5 hours times 2.
Awesome. Okay, cool. You guys are. Good at math.
It's
Math
been
go
on
far
my
here.
list ever since we started doing more wrestling stuff, and I have like a better idea of what that world looks like. You have told me multiple times in the last year to watch it, and I'm like, yeah, it's on my list, but my list
Yeah,
is
I think
so long
that
at this
now
point.
is the time between
Bump it up.
wanting to show you being understanding wrestling a bit more, but
Yeah.
also it's like you don't need that, but I think it will help.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
just
man.
care
I'm
about
stoked.
it
Season
more.
3, baby. Let's go.
Who's the
Glow
main-
is my second favorite Netflix show.
What's your
What's your
first?
first?
American Vandal, baby.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
So sad.
Speaking of season 3, I was gonna transition over.
Do
Sorry. Jessica Jones season 3 premieres June 14th, 2019. I don't know if any of you guys watch Jessica Jones. No.
I watched season 1.
Season 1 was dope.
Yeah, season 2
was
lost
fine.
me. Didn't make it very far.
Well, season 3, which is the last season,
Have
is
they
coming out.
confirmed that officially yet?
They
or-
have confirmed it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It
'Cause
all ends.
for a lot of these, they were like waiting until the season came out, and then a week later being like, this is the last season of The Punisher. This is the last season of Daredevil. Stuff like that.
Yeah. No, but I think now they've once
like,
they
fuck it, it's
once
over.
they canceled Daredevil, I think that it was like kind of like all these shows are done.
Gotcha.
Panzer G2 brings up a good point, saying that my favorite Netflix show is Patriot Act.
Ooh,
Oh.
I would
Great.
say it goes American Vandal, Patriot Act, Glow.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Is season 2 good of American Vandal?
It's so good.
It's so
They're-
fucking
they're
I
funny.
so
started
equal,
watching it,
dude.
but I was watching with Paula, and she really doesn't like poop jokes.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we
she's not
lost
gonna
her
like that.
in like 30 seconds.
Same with Alyssa. Alyssa could not watch season 2 at all because
You trying to watch season 2 together?
I already watched it.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
I love it.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Are you gonna watch season 3?
Season 2
Yeah, I think so.
You're gonna watch it. Just finish it
Yeah.
out. Season 2 of what?
of American
Vandal.
Vandal.
American Vandal.
Sorry, I know that.
No,
we
no,
shouldn't
it's
have a
okay.
Jessica
That's
Jones.
totally fine. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks.
Do you? Does anybody at the table?
I mean, like I've seen season 1 and 2, and like
Yeah, okay.
a date got announced, and
Yeah.
people do care.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Is this
be a
the
dick.
last of
no,
the
I'm being a
Marvel
dick. It's,
series?
Yeah.
seems
Right?
like it.
The,
yeah.
the last
last
one
one?
to be canceled. Yeah, I believe so.
American Vandal season 2 has a character that makes the whole season worth it. It's cool, Greg. Like Cool Greg is
Yes.
is one of
Yes.
the main characters of the show, and this guy might be the best actor I've ever seen in my life. It's fantastic. You need to see it.
You should watch it.
I want to watch it, but again, I watch most of these things with my wife, and it's real hard to be like, hey, just ignore all the poop.
Push through just a little
He-
bit.
Just
So
ignore
this
like
is
a
where it
hard
comes
poop, you
in,
know?
where we'll do a girls' brunch in a day,
And then Barrett comes over and we watch it, right, Barrett?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm down to watch it again.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah.
Kevin
I should
does
probably
love entertaining.
finish watching season 1. No, I did.
Oh, you
But like that's where we started watching that at the Let's Play, like one of those Let's Play events that we went to. Mm-hmm. Remember we were all together,
We watched season 1,
sleepover style.
It's fantastic.
It was
Kevin
really
was
special.
one Nick over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't watch the like last 2 episodes, and then I just didn't watch them for like 6 months. Then I finished it off, and I was like, oh okay.
Kevin fell asleep on the couch in his jams.
No,
That was
that
a
never
different
happens.
event.
Oh.
That was it was a different event.
God,
Someone
did
in the-
you ever
so
see
tired.
that picture? I need
What,
to
what?
find it. The picture of him asleep in the jam.
I was there.
Oh,
Super Mario Speedwagon makes a good point in the chat. BoJack Horseman, top 2 tier of Netflix
it?
show.
I've never
Oh,
seen it.
absolutely.
It's pretty good for
No,
yeah.
it's season 1 is pretty good. After that,
I can
it's
have my own opinion. You don't have to tell me I'm
fucking-
wrong.
Have you watched past season 1?
Yeah, I'm like I watched like the first 3 seasons. I think.
Okay. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
Idiot. Oh, no, I'm just. Let's gotta bring up Last Jedi.
my
but
elbow. It hurts.
it's not.
Just now?
It's all cut. No.
Another quick story: A
fragile.
Quiet Place sequel arriving 2 months early.
What?
A Quiet Place
Yeah,
sequel.
no, I heard you, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I didn't know we had a date for it to
Yeah,
be here.
I didn't
early.
either.
The new date is March 2020.
Ooh.
20. March 20th, 2020. There were a lot of 20s involved there. And I like spaced it weird when I
Yeah.
said it.
Well, I mean,
I
even
just
if
thought you
didn't
meant
space
March 2020, like the year.
It, yeah.
No, March 20th,
Yeah. actually,
2020.
there you go.
There it is.
Do we know anything about plot? Anything?
There's a couple things out. Like it's gonna be the family, without spoiling anything
Direct
for the
sequel?
people. Yeah, it's a direct sequel. There's a new character that we don't know anything about. It's a mysterious stranger who's gonna come into the family and interact with them. It's still being directed by John Krasinski, and he also wrote the screenplay with Brian Woods and Scott Beck.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited.
didn't know we were getting a sequel.
Didn't either. Don't need it. But
Yeah,
I'm
I heard
ready
we
for
were,
it.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
I don't think we need it all. I want to make that clear because I feel like I
It's
just
standalone.
recently watched it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that it ends at a good place, and it's like, all right, these people, you know,
A Quiet Place.
yeah.
Does this mean that we will also get a Bird Box sequel?
I mean, you're looking at me like I know that for a fact or not.
I didn't watch
Yes,
Bird
we
Box.
will be getting a Bird Box sequel.
Oh my gosh, you heard it here 1st
Mm-hmm.
guys. Now I got a headline.
Bird Box. What are you going to call it? The
Bird Box 2. There's no creativity in these people anymore.
Goose
Bird Box was a copy of this movie.
2 Bird, 2 Box.
Yeah.
Bird Box.
Bird Box 2, A Quiet Place.
Electric Boogaloo.
I think it's going to be a different sense.
You think it's the smell? They can't smell it? They're not allowed to smell stuff?
Yeah.
You think it's all touch?
Oh, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that
touch
at all. Because, like, no, I don't like that at all. Moving on to our next story. An update to last week's story about the Batman casting. It looks like Robert Pattinson has won the lead role over Nicholas Hoult.
All right.
So last week,
Weird way to
what?
phrase it.
What?
You won it?
Yeah, he beat out
Wow.
Nicholas Hoult.
Damn.
They have like a feats of strength competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
did. They did.
Cool. I'm ready for this.
People, it's been interesting to see the reactions to the whole casting thing. I don't know really anything about Robert Pattinson other than Twilight, and so to see a lot of people come out and be like, "Hey, his last few movies have been really good," I kind of want to watch them and see what
Yeah, I have a list
his
of
range and stuff is.
like 3 movies that like many people in the comments of last week's videos were recommending. I don't know any of their names now. You know?
Off the top of your head.
No.
Breaking Dawn, Eclipse.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, those weren't it. They were saying that those are not what we should judge him on, and he's a much better actor than that.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm always going to be excited for more Batman.
Yeah. I like Nicholas Hoult, but I don't want to see him as Batman, so I'm happy he's not going that route. I could see him as like playing like a Joker kind of character, or even the Riddler.
Remember Me
Yeah.
in Good Times, maybe?
Yes.
Good Time?
Yeah. Definitely Good Times. People are talking about Good Times a lot. So yeah. Also, Matt Reeves is on board to direct a trilogy. Is the rumor out right now? So we're gonna have a lot of these Batman movies
A
potentially.
lot more news to talk about. Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
I hate you. Next story, Marvel's Black Widow movie begins shooting in Norway with an intriguing working title.
What's the working title?
Blue Bayou.
Oh, AKA the restaurant in Disneyland in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Wow.
Not a lot of connections to like
Got anything for us?
Scarlet Witch. No, that's just
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlet. No, I meant Black Widow.
Yeah.
God, I always do that every fucking time.
I'm here for you.
She
Scarlet's?
is going to be in the movie though.
Scarlet Witch?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh.
Sorry. I see where the confusion is.
Wait, she's gonna be in the movie.
It's about her.
Well, I thought there was a real chance that we were gonna get a prequel movie about her like being a little kid.
And it not being ScarJo?
You think
How are
ScarJo
you
is
gonna
going to
have
play a
ScarJo
little
be a
fucking
little
Silly
kid?
bitch. He's a silly little bitch.
How
Are you
are you
kidding
gonna
me?
have ScarJo be
You
like-
thought there was a chance we were gonna get a Black Widow movie that wasn't with Scarlett Johansson.
Like they were gonna
I mean, I
recast her?
could see her doing some parts in it. Do you think like getting an origin movie with her as herself?
As like a teenager or something?
She was trained as a child.
I mean, I don't think
that's
they
the
would have made
compelling
that the movie.
part of the story for her.
I don't think
Really?
there's any
You don't think
world.
the Red Room is the compelling part of her
I
story?
don't at all.
Y'all are crazy.
Do you think we're going
We got it in Age of Ultron. That's all we need to see. We get it. We can fill
You don't
in
want
the
to
gaps.
a deeper dive into that?
No, watch Black Sparrow if you want that. Red Sparrow.
Red Sparrow.
Red
Sparrow.
Yeah. Was that good?
That's
Did
the
you watch
second
it?
time that's come up
I
today.
really watched
Is
things
it?
about it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because we were talking about how similar it looks to. Oh, we were
It's
talking about
completely
Anna.
different
You're right. We were
movie.
talking about Anna.
There's 3 comments from the chat I want to read right now. Forgotten Hell says, I don't think Kev's take is that off. So he's on your side.
Thanks. You got-
you got
Wasted
some
Bandwidth
fans.
says, what happened to Kev's brain? And then
didn't
Dave
sleep
Canada
very
just
much.
quotes me and says, he's a silly little bitch.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm functioning on very little sleep, and I'm tight.
Not surprised.
It happens.
So tight. That's what happens when movies come out
Yeah.
Thursday, and we go and watch 2 of them, and we don't leave till 12:30.
True.
Yeah.
Before Endgame, if you would have been like, Joey, are you excited about a Black Widow movie? I'd have been like, I don't really care. After Endgame, to be honest, turning the tides. I like her character a lot more after watching it, so I'm excited to see what this prequel looks like.
You like Scary JoJo?
I have no allegiance to ScarJo as an actress.
At
I don't really-
all?
no, I don't really care.
Fascinating.
What's your allegiance,
She's,
Kev?
well,
Oh,
I feel
dude,
like
I'm-
she's such a touchstone for a lot of guys. Like everyone grew up loving
I
ScarJo.
don't know why.
No idea why.
What movie was it?
I don't know. All that she's been in a bunch of shit that
Don
everybody
John.
loves. Man, talk about a terrible
Really?
movie.
I wish it was so much better.
It was awful.
It was so weird.
It looks
Yeah.
so bad.
It was.
It should have been
terrible.
amazing.
It should, yeah,
No.
the premise itself was should've been-
JGL, ScarJo,
Yeah.
being just hot, horny motherfuckers together and addicted to porn. Sign me up.
Were they both addicted to porn?
No,
he was
just
addicted.
him.
he was addicted.
You know what? Mixed messages.
So one of the people that have been like rumored to be cast in it is Rachel Weisz. I really
Ooh, I
like
like
Rachel
her.
Weisz.
Rachel?
And I was just
From The
saying
Mummy?
From The Mummy.
I mean, I know she's in other stuff, but I love her from The Mummy.
They also cast the girl that was Paige in the Fighting with My Family WWE movie that just came out.
Yeah. Is it
I think
Florence
she's going to be
Pugh?
great. Florence Pugh.
Pug?
Pig.
Pig? Yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see anything that comes from that. Like, nothing has been officially announced, but
Yeah.
like there's pictures of the Blue Bayou written in like Russian looking text. And
I'm just trying to connect Blue Bayou to this at all.
please get in there and find it.
There was the woman that was being auctioned off in Pirates. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like in the ride.
In the ride?
Yeah.
And then they recently changed that, and that they made that character like a badass, and like I saw it recently in Disney World, no big deal. She's there, and like she has
Rub
like
it
a
in.
sword and shit.
Oh.
And her character's Big Red. She's a redhead.
Whoa. Fuck, did you just make the connection?
I mean, it doesn't
Disney
add
Cinematic
anything,
Universe, you
but, dude.
So some of the Marvel working titles have been really totally unrelated. Like
They're just like code.
That's Phoenix.
Yeah.
I
Project
kind of want to.
but like a lot of
look
them
into that.
are related in some way. And
Just like,
like
obscure references or
the
something.
Spider-Man ones were Bosco, which is a reference to Seinfeld, and then another Seinfeld reference. I can't remember what the other one is.
Good in Gaming says, someone called the Grinch. We're going back.
The Grinch theory. All right, well, moving on. Oh, also, like, the theory is now that it's going to take up one of the 2 first slots, which would be May 1st, 2020, or November 6th, 2020.
It's going to be May.
I didn't mean to do that, but it's going to be May.
I like how genuinely excited you got about it.
Eternals is going to be November.
You think so? I really want the Eternals to be good.
I do.
Next story, Lion King early box office tracking predicts massive opening. Looks like it's going to make somewhere between 180 million and 230 million. It's interesting. Like, I feel like all these apps have like changed the way people buy movies now, like go to see movies, where it's like, it's so easy because we all have this service to just go in there and get our
reserve tickets counts for these
and like
predictions.
that's like
that's a solid point.
The
they have a
records
way
keep
more
going
accurate
up and up. Yeah,
projections tally now.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Here's the thing: I really enjoyed Aladdin. I'm happy to see how well Aladdin's doing. I have very high hopes for Lion King. Jon Favreau's fantastic. Lion King, what a
Such
great
a good
story,
director.
what a great music, what great. It's the fucking Lion King. Need I say more? I can't wait to see it. But I remember in college when I was doing like video production school stuff, like one of my classes, I forgot what the fuck it was, but it was just like the business of media or something like that. And then there was a whole day where all we did was look into the economics of Lion King and how successful Lion King truly was. Where there's the box office number or whatever, but it was the home video market where Lion King changed the game.
Those puffy cases.
But like Lion King specifically, like made some like record numbers and changed how people put together the projection of budget versus like what makes a success based on how much money they needed to pay for the movie, and then marketing and toys and all this stuff. In the same way that Star Wars changed a lot of those things,
Right.
Lion King kind of took it to the next level. So I'm interested to see with this quote unquote live action one, whatever that means.
But I mean,
we
funny
all
'cause-
know what it
I know,
means.
but Jon Favreau also in an interview was like defending the fact that like he doesn't think this should be called an animated movie.
Yeah.
and I agree with that.
It's
like I
realistic,
understand that
it's
a lot
animated,
of
but so
they're
live action
animated.
movies are animated 90% of them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Good.
So it doesn't really matter, but I'm interested to see how well this is going to perform. Like, is this going to be Lion King levels of success? The original Lion King levels of success for a modern day, right? We're doing in review, we're talking about Aladdin, and Aladdin 92 was the #1 box office movie of the year.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. And the number I think was 500 something million, which is a lot of money. But nowadays it's not.
Right.
All things considered. And it still is. It's not record breaking.
They made something like 112 million this first weekend, the box office number for Aladdin, and it's like that compared to like already 1/5 of what they made total in box office in 92.
Nuts.
So
There's some like crazy movies that came out because I was like, what is it going up against? And it's
there's some
stuff-
good shit. I think Bodyguard, right?
Yeah,
Bodyguard
we
is
read
up
the
there.
top 10.
Wayne's World, all that kind of stuff.
Fantastic.
Sister Act.
I
Personal
believe
favorite.
Lion King can do some groundbreaking. Because Endgame, obviously, everybody saw that in the first 2 weeks, and that Lion King trailer like played, I am sure, throughout all theaters before, and I'm pretty sure that brought up a lot of people's nostalgia and love for that. Like, I wasn't super excited for it. Like, I was excited for the cast when the cast was announced and all this stuff, but like the trailer didn't hook me until we saw Endgame, and seeing it in the theater, I was like, I got chills, and I was like, fuck, I'm ready to be hurt again and relive these moments. So I think it's gonna break some shit this summer.
I think it's going to be the strongest live action movie they've ever had because everybody loves Lion King so much, and this has the strongest cast to back it up. So it is like, we're serious about this. We want to make this good.
Yeah, and like not to stereotypically gender things too much, but especially back in the 90s, Aladdin was the boy movie.
Really?
Aladdin?
Was
Yeah.
it?
What? Out of all the Disney movies, Beauty and the Beast was the girl movie. And then Lion King. Lion King is this cool guy running around doing parkour with swords.
Wait, I thought
Aladdin.
you mean Aladdin, right? Not Lion King.
Aladdin.
I fucked up so bad. Aladdin
Yeah.
was the boy movie. Beauty and the Beast was the girl movie. Lion King brought us all together.
I think you have a very weird and wrong perception of all of those things.
I don't feel like I
How
had
so?
that same.
I don't experience that like Aladdin was like.
Well, you're also a baby, dude.
Yeah, you
It's
weren't
different
there, dude. You
generations
weren't
of
there.
people.
Don't get
That's the real
mad.
thing.
Don't get mad. This is a
because
fact.
Think about
I'm
it.
talking. I'm talking about people
You
who
were
are your
born in
age,
90
though. I'm talking about people who are even older than you.
Yeah,
that
but see,
came up
here's the
with
thing. I'm
Aladdin.
talking. We all
We were
now
this-
we love all of them,
Yeah.
or like we have opinions and stuff. I'm talking about when we were kids. Like we owned Aladdin toys and stuff. Your
Sure,
sisters
sure.
owned Beauty and the Beast things,
Yeah.
dresses and shit. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like there was definitely.
I feel like there was the hand mirror. No,
That's Snow
Snow
White.
White.
no, you're right. You're right.
But I think it's also.
I think it was a Beauty and the Beast. hand
Aladdin
mirror.
also was before things like Tarzan and Hercules,
Yeah.
where I felt like those were kind of a little bit more of the boy movies.
Well, I think that was just trying to
I guess
capture the magic of
Aladdin.
Yeah. Whereas you would see things like Pocahontas trying to capture the magic of Beauty and the
Interesting.
Beast and Little
I've never
Mermaid.
really thought about that, and I don't have like a great memory of like.
I feel like
That kind of
movies
stuff.
movies are
Very
made
young.
differently now, you know.
Totally.
But I do think that then, like it, and I'm just saying this from the experience of everybody that I knew, and specifically me and Kevin's family. Which,
So it's a skewed
Representative.
a
specific.
very small sample size.
But speaking of Disney, our last story: Disney to pull production out of Georgia if abortion law passes.
Good.
Lots of different
Mm-hmm.
companies making different stances for stuff like this, which will be very interesting.
So Disney may halt productions of its film and TV shows in Georgia if the state enacts its controversial abortion law. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger said, "I don't see how it's practical for us to continue to shoot there." Iger told Reuters, let me just continue with the quote. "I think many people who work for us will not want to work there, and we will have to heed their wishes in that regard. Right now, we're watching it very carefully." And then there was an update that came out later. We now have Warner Media also saying they're considering pulling out of Georgia, and Sony Pictures.
Didn't Netflix also say something too?
It's very possible.
Yeah.
I think that there was like
Yeah.
one showrunner for one series that said they were going to pull
Mm-hmm.
out, but I don't know about Netflix as a whole.
Gotcha.
I feel like Georgia or like Atlanta and Vancouver are probably the two biggest
Very, very popular. And there's-
LA shooting spaces, so that it'll be interesting to see.
I have
how that
notes
kind
here
of
because
changes the
they give
landscape.
like significant tax breaks. TV productions due to a tax break offered to companies that spend $500,000 or more production. Okay, so it's just a tax break. It doesn't actually have the amounts, but a lot of things are shot in Georgia. And if you stay till the end of the credits, you'll see the little peach and
last night,
yeah.
Was it really?
I saw the peach. Yeah.
And I'm very pleased to see companies making decisions like this, where it's like things don't happen unless like it's financially backed a lot of times. And this is something where people can vote with their wallet by pulling out and stopping production.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm sure with the amount of peaches I've seen at the end of movies, like I'm sure that like Georgia is making a lot of money off of this. Or it sucks because there's probably going to be a lot of job loss too if this happens.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's like change your laws, dude. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if any states decide to like try and come in to fill that gap and offer similar tax breaks to offer an alternative.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that works or how how you'd get that, but it'll be interesting.
Cleveland will probably try to do something again because I remember when I think it was Dark Knight Rises, they were having trouble with production in Chicago. And Cleveland always tries to get movies and shit.
Just Cleveland's like, "Please,
in
God, come here."
Yeah,
Someone
they're like,
come
we
here.
need
Give me
need
something.
industry here. So that's why we're in Avengers for like 5 minutes.
Alrighty, now it's time for some trailer talk.
So many
We're
good
going
things.
to talk about trailers.
Talk.
I'm so tired.
Do you need Nick?
No,
In a couple minutes.
I don't know. Why
think
don't
we're
you
fine.
call? We'll just keep going. It's fine. Our first trailer we're
He's
talking
working on
about
the
is
showcase.
The Kitchen.
The kitchen.
The Kitchen. A trailer that I saw 2 days ago, and I was like, this looks like a straight up like real old timey mafia movie. And then I watched it in theaters with Joey, and like
trailer.
I'm in. Like I'm really interested about this movie.
Yeah.
It looks dope. I thought that the premise was great. Put Paint It Black in anything, and I'm
Sounds so
gonna
cool.
enjoy it.
Literally
but,
one of like 2 notes I had about the trailer.
It's so fantastic.
good.
But also shout out to Melissa McCarthy. I've never given her credit as a serious actress because I'm most familiar with her in comedic roles, and I've seen her in a lot of trailers for
Serious movies, yeah.
including ones that like I feel like last year she was up for.
Forgive Me, I think. It was something like that. It was about her like writing fake like love letters from notes in like first publications of books.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember she was getting nominated for awards, winning awards for that stuff. But I still was like, I'm not interested in whatever. But seeing her in this, I'm just like, man, she has range.
She's got the chops, man. Yeah. She's in there. Like she delivers a couple lines in the trailer where I'm like, this character seems so intense and like but also so like you can tell the character is going through a lot and like I want to see that experience. So,
Yeah.
Looks cool.
I've been a long-term Melissa McCarthy fan because I loved her in Gilmore Girls, and I haven't loved.
She's in Gilmore Girls?
Yeah, she's Suki. She's in like the whole series. She's
Oh, yeah.
Lorelai's best friend.
Yeah. I didn't put that together till right now. I'm not watching Gilmore Girls,
But Paula did.
was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and so I really liked her character there, and I haven't loved her turn in like the comedy role she's picked up. I liked Bridesmaids, and that was kind of the only one. So I'm excited to see her do something a little bit more dramatic. The trailer does remind me a lot of that Bad Girls TV show that's on right now with Christina Hendricks and the other 2 girls who I can't remember. Sorry. But maybe less. That has like a lot of comedic lighthearted, and this seems way more serious.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for the first time last night, and I'm like pleasantly surprised at how interested I am. Because normally Melissa McCarthy would be kind of an auto turn off for me.
Same for me, and I think that like there was a lot of a surprise for myself when I sorry, I'm all stumbling all over. I was shocked that I was like, oh shit, this looks really cool, and I definitely want to keep checking this out. Next trailer we're talking about is Freaks.
Emil Hirsch.
I love him.
Sci-fi horror movie. Didn't do it for me. I'm also just not a fan of sci-fi horror because I feel like I like horror movies when things can be explained and there are rules. And I feel like when you add too much sci-fi elements and glowing things can do anything. And personally,
a lot of glowing in Godzilla,
yeah, but like the glowing,
it's not
A
horror.
lot of glowing. No,
Yeah.
there was a lot of glowing,
But it's not
some
horror.
glitter
but we
too.
know what the glowing does in the Godzilla. I feel like it's fire or it's lightning or it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Depending on what color it is, it's an element.
Yeah.
It's clear. Whereas like with this, it's like, I feel like the weird glowing blue stuff. It's like, what is it doing? It could turn them into a monster or it could do this or it could do this. And I feel like I bet watching this trailer, they're going to pull some bullshit with some glowing stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah, the trailer intrigued me.
Yeah.
I like the what?
I'm just thinking like I had to watch it twice because the whole time I was like, I have no idea what this is, and watching it twice did not help.
But I feel like the like 70% of it is like, oh, like the dad is like agoraphobic and he's really scared that something's gonna happen to the daughter.
Yeah.
And she's kind of sick of being stuck in this house. That's what I thought it was. And there's that moment where it's like, oh, something else is going on here. Like, is the government trying to capture these people with abilities? I'm interested to see more in this.
I laughed during part of it because my parents were always like super protective and didn't want me to like get kidnapped because there was a lot of kidnappings when
Most parents don't want that.
kids. But there was like 3 big ones when we were growing up. And then when he was like, oh yeah, the ice cream man in the ice cream truck, dead kids or whatever, dead bodies. I'm like,
A little extreme.
this, you could have phrased it in a lot of different
But
ways.
Ice cream.
I think he's trying to like
He's totally trying to scare her into not doing anything.
But I think that like there's something clearly wrong, and later in the trailer, it just seems like the whole world might be against them.
I'll go see it. I like Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch, man.
Lords of Dogtown was formative. It's always about Speed Racer.
It is.
Oh, is he the main dude? in
He's fucking
Speed Racer?
Speed Racer.
Oh. Next trailer, Swamp Thing.
I'm very unfamiliar with Swamp Thing as
most people
a
are.
premise, as a character, pretty much anything. I played as him in Injustice 2 for a bit of the story. That's pretty much my knowledge of him. This trailer, I'm not going to watch this show. It looks good. I think that most of the time when I see trailers for things, I'm like, I wish it was a movie, not a series. This, I'm like, I feel this could be a nice 6 to 10 episode series that like tells a cool story.
I'm excited not to watch this, but to have Cool Greg watch it and then come in and be like, it was cool.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what you want.
And like, yeah. And like, hopefully at some point it's good enough to the point where he's like, yeah, you should watch it. And then I'm in.
But yeah,
Cool
I feel
Greg's
like the quality looks really high. For it being a TV show, I thought the effects were excellent.
Yeah.
A lot of the kind of just viney things. I like the use of shadows, the use of lighting. I got a lot of vibes actually of Resident Evil 2 remake that came out. Of like there's a part where they're you're in a lab and there's a lot of these like viney enemies
Things everywhere,
and there's real fear to that shit. Like I think that's it's cool, and I think that the swamp thing trailer showed that very well. I like not seeing him much.
Yeah.
We all knew it was building to seeing him. I liked how he looked.
Is he also the dude that they talked about? Like they talk about some scientist who had gone missing or something, and we see some guy talking to this like cop lady.
Cool Greg will have to tell us later.
The only thing I know about Swamp Thing is also from video games, but mine is Lego DC Supervillains.
So less info there.
So
that you
even
can trust.
less. I'm kind of bummed that's on DC because I'm not signing
Yeah,
up for another thing. But if it was on something else, I would totally watch it.
Oh.
So
A DC thing doesn't look like it's going well either.
I hope, man, I just really
Like
want DC stuff to be good. And this show does look good, but at this point, I need to cancel my CBS All. Like, I have too many things at this point, and I don't know that this is going to be enough to push me to.
But if you somehow had access to it, do you think you'd watch it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Really? Mm-hmm. I love you, Joey.
I'll watch most things, and this felt like
have
a Joey
you seen
vibe.
any of the other DC stuff?
No, because I don't have it.
Me and Paula were watching like the first 6 episodes of Titans, which isn't exclusive to DC's network.
People in the chat are also talking about Doom Patrol.
Everyone's saying Doom Patrol is awesome, and we got a little bit of Doom Patrol, I want to say, in Titans. They kind of like introduce these characters, and they seem like they're really cool.
I'm more interested in Swamp Thing than I am either of those two, but I'm always down to give it a try.
Next trailer, Onward, Pixar's new movie.
I did not care about this at all. The only like smidgen of like, oh, I'm invested is the fact that it's Chris Pratt and it's Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Other than that, it just kind of seems like a Trolls movie.
Yeah, weird.
That I don't care about.
It seems like a weird move for Pixar. Usually their movies are like, I want to say oriented kind of for children, but have aspects that like adults will be like, that seems like interesting. This trailer did not give me any of that, where it's like, oh, this looks like a kids movie, like a straight up kids movie. I wish they had given us a little bit more. The premise is interesting enough, like, okay, modern times in a mythical world.
Unicorns or raccoons. Yeah. That's cool. My thing is, I don't really have any positive or negative feelings towards this trailer. It fits in with every other Pixar trailer I've ever seen. When it's a new IP, there's no context. It's kind of hard for me to get excited about it. I remember, this isn't Pixar, but first seeing the trailer for Zootopia, I'm like, this is gonna be horrible. Like this looks like one of those Trolls movies, or this movies, or whatever. And it's like Zootopia is something special.
Really?
Yes, Zootopia is really special. You'd hate it though.
What?
Okay.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
What? No.
Good.
You'd love it. It's great.
All I know is Judy Hopps.
But my God. It's really good. I want to watch Zootopia.
Me too.
But in terms of Pixar movies, I feel like just even going back the line, like Inside Out, what was the last new
Good
one?
Dinosaur, which was
Good
not
Dinosaur
good.
ended up,
in my opinion.
I didn't love it. Yeah, like Coco.
Coco was
watching
good.
them, I didn't like the trailers. Like watching them, like, all right, cool. I'm gonna watch this movie, and chances are I'm gonna like it.
Yeah,
Pixar's more often
so
than not
good.
nails it. Good Dinosaur was the kind of fumble, but
Big
of
Brother-
new
and,
IP.
like, was Brother
we knew
Bear
that was a
Pixar
fumble.
too?
No, God, no. That was
No.
Disney.
Just straight Disney.
Yeah.
Was it?
What?
Yeah.
Brother Bear's
Bear.
one of the Disney
Yeah.
classics.
But
Yeah.
Brave is like Pixar's Brother Bear. They're very similar, right?
Oh, I liked Brave.
No, they just
No, a
have
lot of
bears.
People turn into bears.
Yeah, but
You're right. It's the mom, not the main character.
Isn't in Brother Bear there always bears or no?
I feel like they're always
Spoilers,
bears.
dude.
Brave though, solid trailer.
I don't know
It was
that.
like I don't know, all right, whatever.
like Brave?
It's good. Yeah, Brave's great. Like
I don't even remember the story it's about right now.
You know, but that's my point
Obviously.
though. Is like I feel like
Long
watching
Turns
these
into Bears.
trailers is like, cool, this is coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it.
Have I ever not liked a Pixar movie? No.
Have you
you
seen
like Good
Dinosaur?
Dinosaur?
Really?
No, maybe I didn't see.
Yeah,
Because I feel
it's-
like Good Dinosaur didn't look great, and like overall, it was a very meh story.
That's the
But
Good
it
Dinosaur's
also
not
had a lot of
bad.
problems.
It's just not Pixar level.
Yeah.
Also, a reminder: Cars 2 exists in this world.
Those are sequels.
Also, was Cars
We're
2?
talking about new IP.
All right. If you want to get
Touché.
selective about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Watching trailers for sequels,
Yeah.
there's like something you can base that off. But
That's
when it's
fair.
just trailers for new IP of Pixar movies, you're kind of like, why
That's
would I
a
give a
thing.
shit about?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
these
say it.
monsters?
I'm gonna say a hot take. People are gonna get upset.
Don't say it. Don't
I said
say
this to
it. Nobody cares. Stop. No, go ahead.
Wall-E is very boring and not a good movie.
So dumb.
Oh man,
You're so
I love
dumb.
Wall-E.
Wall-E was actually the one trailer that I was like, this looks dope.
Yeah.
Did you like Wally?
Eve?
Yeah, I look. Nick came inside. He made eye contact with me, and he was gonna do something. I didn't expect that.
So we brought in Nick Scarpino so he can help us talk about our next trailer, Rambo: Last Blood.
Everybody's gonna die all the time.
Have
Is
you
that
saw
Dom?
it?
Are you Dom right now?
It's Dom is just a newer version of Sylvester Stallone in
100%.
every way, shape, or form.
Old Town
and that
Road.
song, oh my god,
I hate Old
it's
Town
so
Road. I
love-
perfect.
I love
I
it.
don't like how much we have to hear in this goddamn office.
What's amazing is here's the deal. Do you guys remember the last Rambo?
No.
Okay,
Was
cool.
it John Rambo?
It was.
It was called John
Wait.
Rambo. It was just called Rambo.
There was one called Rambo.
Wasn't there a John
Which
Rambo?
I think, if
Barrett,
I'm not
can you pull up the
mistaken,
Rambo series?
I'm looking.
The
at it.
last time we saw him, he
I'm
was
pretty sure it's his
like he was like a boat driver in Vietnam. And he had long hair and he was living native. And now I just can't wait
Living
to see how
native.
he went from that to being a rancher in Texas.
And it seems like he's
or
been a rancher in
Brazil,
Texas
or
for
where-
a while.
Maybe he's in Brazil. He looks like he's in Brazil. I don't know.
Oh, it's just called Rambo.
So no, here's the thing though. It's just called Rambo, but then the poster says just Rambo. But then in some territories,
Yeah.
it's labeled John Rambo.
Yeah, I think they were going to call it John Rambo, and then I think they
they were
retitled
like,
it.
shortened
yeah,
it.
let's just shorten it.
But so we find him. He's like protecting or like getting. He gets paid to take a group of like what do they call it? Like missionaries up the river, or these people who are like working for like some sort of World Health Organization. And then ends up by the end of it, literally pointing a 50 caliber machine gun that's mounted on a truck at a guy that's sitting in the front seat of the truck, and just fucking blasts his head to nothing. And that's the last time we saw him. Now he's a
gonna
cowboy.
take 'em
I'm
down.
gonna take my horse to my old town. Real
I
talk.
can't believe
though,
how much
I
that
hate
song is
how much you
in Nick's
love that
life right
song.
now.
Real talk though, this trailer was not as bad as I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be. When I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, it's a Rambo. He's gonna just beat a bunch of people up and kill a bunch of people, and he's got the knife, which I like. He's bringing back the big ass knife. Sure, why not?
Did he lose it at some point?
No, but it's just been a staple of the franchise
Okay,
for
good.
7 movies.
Yeah.
So I would be very disappointed if I didn't see the knife.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
I don't know
liked-
if you would have been disappointed. I feel like if they didn't show the knife, you wouldn't have thought of the knife.
If they didn't show the knife, 100% I wouldn't have thought of the knife. But the fact they showed the knife, I was like, oh, these guys get it. They get it. And I like that it's called Last Blood, because obviously that's a nice bookend for Rambo, or First Blood, which is the original
The
movie.
name of the first
Not
movie,
called
yeah.
Rambo. It was just
Right.
called First Blood, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Based
You're
on the
correct.
book. Actually, a much more darker, really fucked up movie, if you guys have ever seen it. It's really just about a disenfranchised Vietnam veteran that comes back
Getting
and
treated like shit.
has no place in the world anymore. And it's really sad. At the end, he
Really
goes
sad.
insane and kills a lot of people. And they have to talk him down from fucking basically like being fortified in a mountain. And they have to bring in his old CO. And he's like, dude, the war is over. And he's like, nothing is over. Nothing is over.
It's a great scene.
And then at the
John
end, they
Rambo,
literally just take him down and put him in prison.
Have you ever seen the deleted scene or the alternate ending?
No, does he just kill everyone?
Kills himself.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That would actually be a really like sad but appropriate ending for that. Then we go back to
Back to Vietnam,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's like, I think he's in Vietnam, or I think he's Vietnam. Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just like a super soldier. That's when he
Yeah,
became a
yeah.
superhero.
From 2 to like, it doesn't matter. The movies aren't great.
It's ridiculous.
But the
one's
first
good.
one is good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Sad.
Next trailer we're talking about is The Dark Crystal,
Yeah.
Age of Resistance.
Yeah.
That looked amazing. I love the look of the actual puppets and animatronics
Yep.
mixed with the CG.
Looks
I love that
really cool.
even when they're CG, they move like they're puppets.
That's a smart move.
It's a brilliant move
Yeah.
that I'm surprised they took. I'm not too familiar with Dark Crystal. I watched it when I was young, but I don't really remember the like. I always thought I was in the Labyrinth universe. Like any movie that
I
looked
did
like
too.
that.
We
I
had
thought,
this
did too.
conversation while I was making coffee this morning.
yeah, I was like, I thought they were all the same, but like I love the look of the creatures. I mean, I feel like this is just classic Jim Henson, and the way that they're dealing with all of this. I think the story looks interesting. Like it's everything about it. I'm like, all right, I think I'm in.
Jim Henson's so good.
I think they're really it's a mix of pulling in new audiences, and I don't think we'll have to go back and watch the movie again, which I really don't want to do. But
Is it not good?
I don't know if it's good, but let me tell you, babysitting my little sister, who Dark Crystal, weirdly enough, is one of her favorite movies of all time. I had to watch that thing at least 3 times a day for like 2 years.
It terrified me.
Really?
It's terrifying.
But you were a full-grown man when it came out, right?
Yeah.
I was
You
34 years old.
85-year-old
I
man.
didn't understand how they were making those puppets move that fast. It's terrifying.
But one of the things that she loved was one of the creatures that would go like, and you hear that at the end of this trailer. I was like, okay, they're doing some stuff for like the fans, which I think is really cool.
Nick, do you have any interest in it?
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. I tried going back and watching the original Dark Crystal because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. It's very dated, obviously, and it's very old, but it's cool. I mean, that was back when Jim Henson was ruling the world and everything was better. Now, obviously, they're doing a lot of CG, and you're seeing a lot more. It's a nice updated look, but I like that they're keeping the sort of like the puppet look, or the practicality of the puppets and stuff like that. So, and it's a series, so it could be cool.
Here's a real question. Legitimately, is Labyrinth a good movie?
Yes.
Yes, but I haven't seen it in 20 years. So
Is
I remember
Legend
it being
a
good
better movie?
What's that?
Is Legend a better movie?
I don't know what that
Legend
is.
is
Fuck is
awesome.
Legend.
Nick knows what Legend is, all right? I was asking Nick,
What's
not
Legend?
you.
But I would
Legend
like
is
to
Tom
know.
Cruise in
It's Tom
just a
Cruise.
shirt.
It's Tom Cruise
No
and Mia
pants.
Sara.
What's
Does it
this
have
have to do-
anything to do with Labyrinth?
Because it's
yeah, it's in
they're
the
very
same
close
world.
in style.
Okay.
Really?
Yes. I know what I'm doing. Tim
Legend,
Curry's in it. He's
definitely
the
not a
devil or
sequel.
he's the darkness.
It's very, very similar.
Dope giant horns.
Yeah.
Barrick, you look up.
Dude, no, it's
Legend.
Like, look up Legend Tim Curry.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise also, it's Tom Cruise and Mia Sara. And Tom
Images.
Cruise runs around
Yeah,
with
please.
just chainmail armor, but just the top for some reason. So they show his buttery thighs the entire time. It's very strange.
Did you have to use buttery?
Dope.
Show the kids.
I don't want to show the
Dude,
kids
that's
this.
awesome. He looks awesome.
They're all tiny pictures, too.
Yeah,
That's
they're
the-
really small. It's an
Wow.
old movie.
Old movie, yeah.
It was only rendered in 480p.
Nick, one last question. Is The Departed a good movie?
No,
Nah, you fucking
just
liar.
just an
Some of the
abysmal.
lie
Was Dark
detector, Sam.
Crystal? Why did my voice crack?
You can close this.
Is Dark Crystal just one movie?
Yes.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they did. They probably did some cartoons and stuff based on it, but I think it was just the one movie.
I have no memory. Like, Dark Crystal holds no place in my childhood, which is weird because I love Labyrinth, Neverending Story, that Wizard of Oz one that's super creepy.
Return to Oz.
Yeah. And
So
I
creepy.
would think that Dark Crystal would have fit in there somewhere.
You
I don't
probably,
know.
honestly, you probably saw it, or
And
at
I
least
just-
it's because it's messed up. It's like dark and scary.
And I probably have the scenes that I remember, I probably just associate with one of those other
I just
movies.
remember one of the puppets pooping, and it was
Jesus.
terrifying. It was terrifying when I was a child.
Barrett,
Of course,
was it
that's what
terrifying
I
when the
remember.
puppet
Go
pooped?
down. Click the right picture. Dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right there you go.
Yeah.
Like these movies were all horrifying. But
And
I
these
remember
were kids'
Labyrinth.
movies.
David Bowie is horrifying,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
surrounded by those little monsters with the baby. Like, you remind me of the babe.
And
The
he does
baby
the,
with
like,
the power.
Oh, God.
Terrifying.
Such a great
What do you
scene.
do?
God,
I gotta
it's
go
so
back and
good.
watch that. Yeah, like I said, I tried watching Dark Crystal. I think Dark Crystal's streaming on either Amazon or Netflix. But I
okay.
tried watching it about a year ago, and I was like, nope.
Hmm.
Still scary and weird.
Yeah.
Just weird.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my horse to the hotel.
I hate that song so much. So now out on streaming services.
Do you find joy in anything, Kevin?
Pop-Tarts.
Green Apple Pop-Tarts.
No.
So Hulu has Broad City complete season 5. Anybody in Broad City?
What?
Broad City complete season 5.
No, I know. I was just surprised that it's
Yeah,
out
yeah,
now.
it's on Hulu. I knew,
Fuck,
Tim.
yeah, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I've
Yeah.
been waiting. Broad City, one of my favorite shows on television. Such a good comedy. Every season's 10 episodes, and I will say 2.5 of them are garbage every season. Like some of them, I'm just like, what are you doing? They get real experimental, and you never know when it's coming. It's not like it's always the first and last or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they just do some really, really, really weird shit. But those other 7.5 episodes, my
Bold.
God. Joe, have you tried?
No.
This is a you show. It's great. It's funny. The two main actors are amazing.
I have too many things to watch
They're
already.
so good. And we've been waiting for season 5 to be done because it is one of those shows that the moment you watch one episode, you're like, I need more.
Give it to me.
So much more. Broad City is the women workaholics. And in a lot of ways, I think it's better than workaholics.
They always have really great gifs on Twitter.
They are the gift queens.
They have great
Yes.
clips. They have great clips that come out, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to watch the show. Then I tried, and it just couldn't
My
get into
favorite
season
gif
1.
is the running and crying one.
Which is like
Yeah.
this in the hallway.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Abadab.
Now for Amazon Prime, Friday Night Lights.
The whole thing? The whole series? Or the movie?
I don't know. It's the movie, I think.
Yeah.
It just says 2004.
Oh,
I think that's
never
the
mind.
movie.
No?
Yeah.
Damn, I really was excited for you to be excited about that.
It's no. If you're gonna watch Friday Night Lights, you should absolutely watch the TV show. It's 4 seasons. Kyle Chandler, Tammy Taylor. Like, what's her real name? I don't remember.
Channing Tatum.
No.
Moving
Jim
on.
Hendricks.
Friday the 13th, all the old ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the old ones.
You know, if you
I would
like
totally
Friday the
binge
13th,
through those.
Good
Sorry, 5
Omen,
seasons.
a show, the
Thank you, Captain
Amazon original that we watched a trailer for a little while ago. I'm excited to check it out. I think it's coming out today.
It's David Tennant, right?
Yes, that's right.
And
then
Michael Sheen.
Mission Impossible, in case you're like, hey, I really want to watch the first one. I didn't get a chance, so we can watch the review. You can check that out. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, shit.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
If you've never seen it, you should watch it.
Absolutely.
Does it hold up today?
I watched it maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I still think it's good.
Find out on Amazon Prime in the United
Steve
States.
Martin, John Candy.
We also have Private Parts.
Is that the Howard Stern?
Yeah, I put that in there for Nick, but he's gone now. So Reservoir Dogs, a movie everyone should watch.
Yeah.
Secret of Nim. A child movie, like a kids movie that like
Secret of
was not a
Nim
kids movie, man.
Is
That
up
was
there.
terrifying.
Like, it's Dark Crystal, but
Yeah.
if it was just animated. and drawn.
Is that the one where like the killer rabbit?
No,
No.
that is Watership Down.
Watership
okay.
Down, yeah. Secret of Nim is fantastic. I just wish that it had a little bit more budget and support and was a little longer because the story's so fucked up and cool, but I feel it's not well told.
What
and I
is
think
the
it's because
story?
of budget and stuff.
I still think it's worth a watch.
It's totally worth a watch.
All right, moving on to Netflix, which I had nothing, but now I've added Always Be My Maybe.
I'm so excited
Yeah,
for it.
which I wonder if it. No, I just think that I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah.
Movies out in theaters near you. Got Godzilla, King of Monsters, which we all recommended. Rocketman, which me and Joey both recommended to go watch. But also you could wait. I don't know. If you like musicals, it's worth watching. And then Ma, a movie that I'm very interested to watch.
I
Are
am
you?
too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it's good.
hope
I
it's
only
good
saw the
too.
trailer once, and I was like, this seems like a fun movie.
I don't know if fun is the way I describe that,
I
but
feel-
yeah, it seems like a movie.
I feel like because we've seen so many movies and it's been a trailer for so many of them that I'm like a little bit over
I've only seen
it.
Yeah.
once.
But
I feel like that's the trailer that broke us the day we watched 3 trailers. Where we were like watching it for the second time and we were just like, we're not doing this for
and
the
now
third.
we just go 20 minutes late to every movie, so we don't have
It's
to deal
so
with
cool.
it.
It's so cool. It's so much better.
Yeah, it's a way better experience.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the chat, I forget, Brandon is also saying When They See Us is coming out, which is the Ava DuVernay movie series.
I did see that, but I didn't know. I didn't.
About the Central Park 5. It's supposed to be really good.
Oh, yeah.
Good
I will
catch.
watch this weekend and I will report back.
It's
It's gonna be intense.
It's getting pretty decent reviews.
All right. So last week I asked you guys on the bronze tier level on our Patreon. That's kindoffunny.com/ no, patreon.com/kindoffunny. That's
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah.
There it is. What do you think about Aladdin for next week's Patreon tier? Start of the new month, man. Give me some recos. Let's get in there. So many of you put recommendations without me asking. I'm asking now, so keep them short. Nice tweet size.
The new things will go up tomorrow morning.
Tweet size.
I hate you. Ignacio Rojas says, Aladdin wasn't as good as I expected, even though they rushed some things. The movie moved slowly. Aladdin lacked the character and charisma and sometimes acting of the original. I liked Jasmine, but even though I really enjoyed her song, they felt really out of place. Genie lacked the energy of the original and it had too much Will Smith. I love Will, but there's too much of him in Genie. Overall, just go watch the original.
That's not Twitter link.
I say you watch the original, then watch our review of the original, then watch the new movie, then watch our review of the new movie.
I say watch the
That's a
new
lot.
movie, then watch our review, then watch the original, then the thing.
What do you think, Joe?
I haven't seen the new one, so I say you watch all of the reviews and then all of the movies.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Options.
All right. Krister Lindemark. The Krister's just spelled funny. Chrysler? Is it Chrysler? Why would you even look? All right, fine. I liked Aladdin way more than I thought I would. Naomi Scott stole the show. Will Smith take on Genie was good. I didn't like Jafar that much. He came off
Shout
as
out to Hot
whiny.
Jafar though.
Shout out
To
to
me.
Hot Jafar.
That's why I
All
refuse
in
to
all,
watch
7.5 out of 10.
That's the only
great,
reason
though.
I kind of want to see the movie.
Our last Patreon review is Jessic. Aladdin was okay. Gets a tentative A-list thumbs up.
Gets a 10 out of what?
No, a tentative A-list
I heard
thumbs
10
up.
out of 2.
Oh, sorry. I just realized that I haven't pre-read these.
I think
Jessica
we all know.
also in the chat right now. Very
Thanks,
excited.
What I was surprised by, however, was how stellar and experienced Godzilla was at IMAX. 2 thumbs way up. Good job, dude. True spectacle. Don't miss out. Awesome. Thank
love
you
it.
so much for joining us today on Screencast. I hope you enjoyed our show. If you want to help support us, go to Patreon, do that stuff.
We don't have producers.
Whose fault is
Change
that? Don't blame the content, because we've been churning out the same shit for years. If you want to follow us on social media, you can go to @JoeyNoel or @TimGeddes or @KindaFunnyKevin and follow us there. All there. You should go to the movies and watch Godzilla. That's my outro today.
You should also see Rocketman.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if I had to recommend one.